How's it going, Gremlins? As you may notice, the car looks a little bit different than before. So I've been going through and trying to clean it up, inventory some of the parts. So far, I've went through one of the big plastic totes, so pretty much anything that was inside the car is now outside, minus the glove box. Ain't really got a good spot to put something that big, but it's a lot cleaner. Did clean up the floor mats and vacuum it all out. In the process of doing so, I was going through the wiring harness, which is over here, which is pretty much a mess. It's trashed. I don't know if you can really tell in the video, but there's spliced, cut wires everywhere. So I had to order a new one of those. A couple $100 I didn't want to spend. Just kind of hoping to save this one, but it's missing stuff everywhere. There's splices and cuts and chunks of it just gone. I've got 3 or 4 pieces of loose connectors, along with a bunch of them that are just chunks of connectors. They're just straight up cut off. So no idea where they go. It's just easier to order a new one, and then maybe at some point in time I can try and splice this one back together or use bits and bobs off of it. I did luckily get a whole bunch of sensors. So you got a couple relays, the flasher and buzzer, or vice versa, flasher, buzzer, sensor for it. Or I guess another sensor relays. A couple other small ones down here. I'm not really sure what they're for yet. Gotta look that up. I did have kind of a connector here. Looks like a jumper of some nature. I'm not really sure what it's for. If you know what it's for, let me know. Some random tool I found. I don't know if it's pertains to the car or just something he had extra. Did find the manual for the car. Has most of the stuff in it, along with the aftermarket stereos manual. So maybe at some point I'll go through all that, see exactly what I got. On the back box back here, I think it's an airbag relay of some nature. We got the ECU, ECU wire and harness, and I believe it's the injector wire and harness are both good and they're intact. So I wrapped them up and labeled them. Then it looks like we have another airbag piece of some nature, airbag relay. So this is the cruise control, I believe, and that's the airbag. Mix those two up. But some of the stuff is still good, so hopefully I can reuse some of it and not have to completely buy new everything, but we'll find out. I did source a transmission. I'm still struggling for a motor. I don't know if you can see way back there. So let me see if I can get this to zoom. So if you look way back, maybe you might be able to see it. There's a transmission back there. So I'll try to get a better shot of it here in a second. But in the process of looking through the wiring harness, going through the fuse box, all this stuff here, seeing what I have, what I don't have. Looks like most of the harness that comes from the back is still intact. The fuse box in a little rough shape, but it'll work. And I did inspect some of the stuff over here to see exactly what parts I'd need to order. Looks like I'm going to have to do some fab work, because if you follow the Instagram story, at Speed Gremlins on Instagram, I put some photos of it already. But this cross member, radiator bracket bar, tie bar, whatever you want to call it, it's in pretty rough shape. It's bent all the heck. This bracket here is bent back. We go up inside of it. Let's see, obviously there's where the wrench is welded to it. This bracket's messed up. Up in here, this is just destroyed. Plus, it got some dents in the fender well. Kind of see a little bit on video. So I'm got to take off this fender and work on that. I did find a new tie bar online, so I'm probably going to order one of those. They're about $165, $200. Cut this one off and then try to re-weld one on. Looks like it shouldn't be super difficult. I say with a little bit of fabrication skills, we'll see how good my welding is. And then see if I can't get you a better shot of that transmission. Try and work my way through all the stuff over here. So, not the best lighting in the world, but say transmission's all cleaned up. So when I got it, it was pretty nasty. So there's, like I said before, there's pictures of it on my Instagram also, where you can check it out. But it was pretty much black in color, just covered in grease and grime. So we'll see how that all turns out. I do got a short shifter on order to get the shifter in there, so we'll get that. Looks like all the connectors and stuff on it are good. So we'll have to go through that and figure that out once everything comes in and I find a motor. So that seems to be the biggest issue right now is, I don't know if you've looked for a motor for one of these cars, but it's next to impossible to find one. Say I've tried junkyards, eBay, salvage yards, and outside of paying $2,000 or $3,000 for one, you're pretty much in a hard spot trying to find one. So we're looking at other options. I did try finding, I believe it's the Kia Cefa or something along those lines. Those certain years of that were the same motor. Trying to look for maybe one of those. Not having a lot of luck with that either. I found older model ones and newer model ones, but not the model year for that. So possibly looking at maybe doing a case swap. Say if I got to do a standalone ECU and a whole bunch of other wiring and work to make a VVT fit in here and work properly, might as well go with a better motor. Get a K24 of some nature. I know if you use the K24 Z3, you can keep the factory subframe. You don't have to worry about that. If you go with the, I believe it's the K24A2, you have to get the K-swap subframe for it, which is a decent chunk of change. So trying to save a little bit of money, probably go with the Z3. 200 wheel horsepower, if that's the way I go, is probably plenty for a car this size. I'm saying those are known to be easy to turbo, so if push comes to shove, throw a small turbo on it, make a little bit more power, but that'll be a journey for a later time. Right now my main focus is getting the wiring harness in, getting the short shifter on, and getting this cleaned up. So here in a future video, I'll go through all the stuff I found in all these boxes. There's still quite a bit of stuff back here. If I can get it out. There we go. Still quite a bit of stuff. Some old paperwork, intakes, AC condenser, radiator, looks like a jack and some other things right on top. So eventually I got to go through all that and kind of inventory that, and I'll come up with a full list. I started the list over here of some of the stuff I got. Say try to ignore the chicken scratch if you can, but I've got so far I've got the AC evap, the heater core, the control box or blender, blower motor, control unit, the original manual, the glove box, which is broken unfortunately, airbag sensors, broken dash cover, a broken cup holder, the main harness, which is just destroyed, it's cut up into pieces, an ECU harness, and the injector harness, which are all fine as far as I know, the cruise control, and I have a shift boot cover, which is there's just a leather piece. Say the rest of it's missing, so I may have to invest in that once I get the transmission in the car. So I know they make some little felt style pieces to cover it for sound dampening and get a new boot for it. So we will have to worry about that when we get there. Other than that, say it's just a long process of cleaning stuff up. I still need to get the inside cleaned up a little better. So I know there's still some brackets and loose bits and bobs. I did get some wire wheels and some paint over here. Say the video went off. Some wire wheels, some paint and primer, some Rust-Oleum to try to help out. So I'm trying to charge this battery that was in the back of the car. As to my knowledge, it's still good. So that's a win, I guess. But yeah, eventually I'll get in here, try and clean up as much of this rust as I can. Spray paint, put some primer on it, clean it all up. It might not be pretty, but hopefully kind of prevent it and slow it down from rusting anymore. Try to make it a little bit nicer, then maybe at some point in the future we'll get everything out of it, get the headlights and all of it out, and do a nice cleanup before we put the final assembly and everything in. Still lots of work, so many months out. So I'm going to try and kind of work on this about every weekend, every other weekend throughout the week. Should be, hopefully with any luck, putting videos up about every 2 weeks. And I'll be posting things to my Instagram. Those will be pictures and maybe short videos and stuff. They'll be a lot quicker than the YouTube videos. There's also a TikTok if you want to follow that, if that's your platform. Speed Gremlins there also. I say pretty similar format to the YouTube and Instagram, doing the short format reels and stuff. So maybe some short stuff there, some glamour shots or something. I do still have the WRX, which I'll be posting some stuff about that here soon. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but I hate road construction. The hood is pretty much destroyed with little spots where it's chipped just from the rocks and stuff. So got to figure out if it's even worth trying to fix that, or I know I can get the little pens and try to like dab the holes in. Looks like I just chipped it down to the primer. So hopefully that's not horrible. I mean, it's not going to affect the car. It's just aesthetics. From a distance, you can't really tell. It's more when you get up close. But I do have some stuff for this coming up soon. So I do have a flex fuel kit I'm going to put on it, and eventually I want to get it pro-tuned on a dyno somewhere north of where I am. So hopefully we can get all that wrapped up, finish this project up, and then I can dedicate a lot of time to this one and any excess funds towards it. Obviously, money is a big factor, so if you guys like, subscribe, follow, that helps out a bunch. Try to build some fan base and following, so more money I have, more time I can get, and more parts I can buy, and we can see how far this thing can go.